Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And in this episode, we're not really doing much for Culture Swap. Like, we're not doing a thing. We're doing an anniversary special, because this is our anniversary special.
Woo!
2
Party
years.
popper noises, air
2
horns.
years. Anyone that maybe missed last episode, you might have noticed a change. We're not going to go over it again. Listen to the last episode if you're confused.
If you've turned this one on and you're confused, go listen to the other episode.
Yeah. Now it's time for catching up with Ellie and Liam. What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot, buddy.
Same, to be honest.
Yeah. I think, so the issue is, we recorded the last episode super late.
Yeah.
Like, as in, after it was meant to have gone up, I believe.
Yeah.
So we've not actually had a whole lot of time to be doing stuff.
No, and all I've been doing really is, I think I had a week where I went to the cinema 3 times and it was brilliant, but it doesn't, that comes in my film review stuff. So yeah. And I've got next week I'm at the cinema at least twice because there's 2 unlimited screenings coming up. Guess what I'm seeing tomorrow?
Justice League again.
Nope.
Oh.
Disaster Artist.
Oh, is that out?
Well, it's not out yet, but I'm going to the unlimited screening tomorrow, aren't I?
Look at you.
And then on Wednesday, it's a secret one where they haven't revealed what it is yet. So
that's quite cool.
I'm hoping with everything I have that it's going to be The Greatest Showman.
Don't know what that is.
Zac Efron's next film.
Right, got you.
So it's got Hugh Jackman in it as well. You like him, Wolverine.
Yeah, I like him and Zac Efron.
Yeah. So literally, all I've done the last couple of weeks, like the last 2 weekends, is been shopping for skiing stuff because we're going skiing next year. So what I've been doing, it's just that and something else, but will come up in housekeeping.
See, this is weird, right? Because so when we started this, both of us said, didn't do much. And then I know you haven't actually spoken about a lot of stuff, but you've done a fair amount. And I've just realised as we were talking, Liam, that I also did some stuff.
Go on then.
On Tuesday, I went with the sort of band crew that I go to gigs with, which, as regular listeners will know, is my dad,
and
my dad's friend. Mate, Canadian Chuck, and now we've got someone that my dad works with called James, who I'm building a website for, and my brother came, and we went to see Royal Blood, who are a very big band, Liam. I don't know if you know about them.
I know the name, but I wouldn't be able to tell you any of their songs.
They're honest. You probably would know some. They've been in a couple of adverts and stuff, and I think some movie soundtracks. But honestly,
I think if you played me their song, I wouldn't go, "Oh yeah, I know who that is."
Yeah, that's probably right. But honestly, they're so cool. We went to see them at Ali Pali.
What's that mean?
The Alexandra Palace up in London.
Okay, right.
It's a huge venue. It's indoors, but it's just giant.
Okay.
I've never been inside a bigger room.
Okay.
It was a really good gig. It was amazing. I love them. If you haven't seen them, go see them.
You heard it here first.
And then, Liam, after that, on Thursday, I also went somewhere with the band crew, minus my brother this time.
Okay.
We went to see Wolf Alice, who are my favourite band.
Yeah, I again wouldn't be able to tell you any of their songs. I only know of them because every now and again you bang on about them.
It was a real shame because I honestly love them. They are my favourite band. Maybe the Foo Fighters would compete with them, and maybe Red Hot Chili Peppers. But we went to see them in Kingston, and there's this Banquet Records, which is a music shop in Kingston, but they're huge, and they put on these nights. They get huge artists, so Wolf Alice are big. They got them to come and play at a club in Kingston for, it must be 500 people, so it's quite a small gig. They only play a short set, so it was 45 to 50 minutes, we think.
Yeah.
I was so excited, and I don't like being in the crowd, right? Because, you know me, I hate being shoved around and stuff.
Yeah.
My dad got a little bit drunk, and we all got a little bit drunk. And then he wanted to go into the crowd, and I was like, you know what, I'm up for it. I'll try it at this gig. I love them so much that I'm sure it won't matter.
Okay.
So we got into the crowd, and immediately there's a tall guy a little bit in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I can't really see the stage. I'm sure he'll move, or something will move, and I'll get a good view. No, that didn't happen. So I spent the first 10 minutes of the gig not being able to see the stage, which I was like, at this point, I'm just listening to their music, which I love, but I'm also being shoved, and I don't like that. What's the point?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go to the back. If I just leave. So I turned to my dad and the group, and I went, look, I'm not enjoying it here. I can't see anything. I'm going to go stand at the back, get on the raised bit, and try and see.
Yeah.
That was also rammed, so I didn't see anything. So I spent the entire 50 minutes. I was enjoying it, but also fuming because they're my favourite fucking band, and I can't see them.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
Did you not honestly have, like, shove someone out of the way so you could have got...
No, the dudes that were in front of me that were tall were, like, big, muscly dudes.
Oh.
And then we also, weirdly, they're not a moshi band.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not going to hit a woman, are they?
Yeah, well, people don't really realise that when they see me, Liam.
Oh, okay.
And I can't exactly shout at them, how dare you?
Okay.
I'm transgender, don't fucking push me.
It sounds like, every time I hear a story that involves your dad, right, it sounds like your dad's the fun one of your group.
He is. My dad is the fun one. Unfortunately, some of the fun stuff that he wants to do, I hate.
Yeah. It's almost like you're like, I don't know, like, the polite way of saying this. So I'm really sorry if this sounds rude, but like a bit of a, like, hanger-on.
No, I don't think so. I mean, when I left the crowd, the people we were with came to the back with me. It was everyone
so
abandoned my dad.
Of a leader.
I don't even know. I think it was more like, oh, what's Ellie doing? Why does she not want to? What's happening? And I was like, oh, you didn't have to leave. But then they didn't know Wolf Alice very well.
Right.
So they were sort of like, oh, we don't mind, we were also being shoved. Because basically, so, like, again, sort of 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, just before I left the front stage bit, they played a couple of songs. They're not a moshy band. They're they're rocky, and a few of their songs are quite heavy. But they're not, they're not a band that I can imagine moshing to.
No.
But for some reason, this one song came on, and literally, like, 100 teenagers? That sounds like an exaggeration. That's honestly not. About 100 teenagers from behind us just ran forward and were shoving everyone. One of our guys nearly got in a fight with someone because the kid pushed him and he went, hey, don't shove past me. Where are you trying to get to? There's no space. And the kid went, oh, sorry, mate. And he went, well, don't say sorry. Say excuse me. Yeah. And the kid went, but I said sorry. And honestly, it looked like he was about to just punch him in the head because he was like, sorry, that doesn't work. You can't just do shit and then say sorry.
Wow, the youth of today.
Yeah, honestly, all these kids. And then half of them were like talking. When you got to the back, half of them are just talking to each other while the band are playing. And you're like, no, you don't know them. You're just here.
Yeah, I imagine like the ones at the back. Do you think sort of the kind of almost like the bad like crowd etiquette there was because the venue was smaller? Like, because I would have thought...
No, I've been there.
It would have been nicer, right?
I've been there 4 times now to see bands. And not small bands. We've seen Maximo Park there. You might remember them from the 90s. Or noughties.
I think they were noughties, weren't they?
Yeah, noughties.
Were they not like around the whole time of like new metal and all that sort of stuff?
They were around when the Killers were around. Because they were all sort of... And Kaiser Chiefs, that sort of time.
Oh, okay.
But so I saw them there. And they were, a fairly big crowd. And everyone was quite chill there. I think weirdly, I just think it felt like there were a lot younger people there. And, I don't want to insult all our younger listeners, but your generation are kind of dickheads.
Oh, yeah, but there's always that, like, we're almost trained to kind of fear the generation behind us, aren't we?
No, because my brother's in that generation, I think. Oh, no, he's technically a millennial. Oh, no, I think all my family are millennials. I don't know. What is the new generation? Does that have a name? It does, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Generation arsehat.
Well, there we go. I think it's almost like that generation is too young to really be defined at the moment.
I think, yeah. Well, no, there's definitely a name for it. But yeah, I guess we don't know what they're like.
Yeah, what the traits of that are. Like with the millennials, it's all about like validation and all that sort of shit and participation trophies. Participation
trophies, we all love them. Being special snowflakes.
Yeah, not being able to afford like housing.
Job market
jobs. Just gone to shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great being a millennial.
Yeah, millennials are great. Yeah, I love being one.
I love just being in the world.
Farmers markets, we like them.
No, that's our parents' generation, farmers markets, isn't it?
No, I think we do that as well.
Oh, fuck that.
I mean, not us specifically, but I think our generation also do, because there's the whole like hipster movement where they're all like, oh man, this coffee was homegrown. And you're like,
avocado
just drink
on
regular
toast.
coffee.
That sort of stuff, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a pretty busy week then.
I actually did, yeah, and I sort of forgot it all. So there we go.
There we go. Anything else?
No, I think that is it.
I obviously went to cinema a few times.
I have also been to the cinema once.
Should we do the one that we've both done first?
Yes.
Do you want to
Let's do that.
Introduce this segment?
Now it's time for Liam/Ellie went to the cinema, and here's the spoiler-free review of the stuff that they saw at the cinema.
Right. We saw Justice League, not together, separately.
Nope, separately. We're going to do a special on it, so...
I mean, you promised that, but we'll see.
We are going to do a special on it.
Okay, so long-time listeners will know that we had a huge disagreement over Batman vs Superman. There's a whole special about us just literally arguing about the fact that I liked it and you didn't, right? Yeah,
we argue a lot, but that episode is probably... I don't think we fall out, per se, but we are definitely completely polar opposite on that film.
Yeah, So basically, from my viewpoint, Justice League is the movie that we've got because so many people kicked up a fuss about Batman vs Superman, so I hope all those people are pleased with themselves.
And my viewpoint is that's a ridiculous attitude to have because that's not how life works. You don't just get... When people complain, you don't just get the opposite of it, and that's it.
Look, all those complaints made Warner Brothers very nervous.
That's the thing. Yes, 100% I agree with you. All the complaints have affected this film, but this film is not the result of those complaints. This isn't them looking at those complaints and going, okay, how do we fix that? Because they have not addressed those issues. As someone who hated the...
What they've done is made it even
don't
worse.
say, are we happy with ourselves? Because no, we wanted them to make a different film that they still didn't make. That's the thing, is Warner Bros. Apparently just cannot understand what is wrong with the DC Universe at the moment.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's that they started off by kind of sort of trusting Zack Snyder. Like with Man of Steel, right? That came out, and I feel like that came out kind of before the MCU really established itself as a thing.
Yeah, where did that fall in the MCU?
Hang on. So Man of Steel was 2013. So we'd had the MCU for a little bit.
Yeah, so it's early doors MCU before it got as juggernauty as it is now.
I think we'd had the first Avengers film by then. But what I'm saying is Man of Steel doesn't feel like it's trying to set up a universe in the same way that
Man of
Iron Man
Steel, even
does.
though I hated it, even though I did not like Man of Steel, it is one of the DC films that, whilst it now ties into the universe, it did feel very much like here's a Superman film.
Yeah, exactly. And it felt like that's kind of... Zack Snyder was given free rein to do what he wanted with that. Then I remember us discussing on a super early episode, them announcing Batman vs Superman, and us both being like, this doesn't sound like a good idea. It sounds like they're trying to rush this whole universe building thing, blah, blah, blah. And we both had concerns. Then obviously it happened. I super liked it. You super didn't. That's fine. But from that, you then saw this weird trickle-down effect, right? Where Suicide Squad, I think, was the next one. That got cut to pieces by the studio who got involved.
Yep.
Then I think there was a glimmer of hope with Wonder Woman, where it felt like they kind of let Patty Jenkins do what she wanted to do. And that's what I think it comes down to. I think that's what Marvel do well, is they let the directors do what they want to do. And obviously you had the whole Ant-Man issue where that wasn't working. But take Thor Ragnarok, for example. That very much feels like the director's vision. I feel like Justice League is a very compromised version of Zack Snyder's vision. And one of the things that I was so excited about with Batman vs Superman was that it felt like he was looking at a bigger picture in a way that wasn't entirely clear by the time Batman vs Superman came out. It was just... It was like there was loose threads that I was looking forward to seeing how they would develop further down the road. And then Warner Brothers have just swung in with their massive dick, flopped it out on the table and just gone, fuck you, we're doing our own thing. And it's just... It's not awful, it's bland. It's very average.
I actually wonder... I think it would be interesting if me and you redid the discussion on BVS now with Justice League in mind, because I do remember... I know that you also liked a lot of what the film did anyway.
Yeah.
But there were definitely some of the bits that annoyed me more that were me being like, I think this is them just trying to rush out Justice League and I don't think they're setting it up well. And you being like, well, I've got a little bit of faith that they might pull it off.
Yeah.
So I would be interested in seeing whether your score dropped, not a huge amount, but whether it would drop because some of the, like you say, some of those threads that you were like, oh, no, cool,
if anything,
they're setting it up.
If anything, I think my score would stay the same. I would just be disappointed knowing that potential wasn't realised, because what I liked was just that idea that it felt like it was building to something. And
then you've now seen what it was building to, and it turns out...
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily kind of affect how I feel about the potential of it building.
All right, fair enough. That's fair.
But yeah, I feel like Justice League, just super average. It's
yeah, that's the thing. Is
it should have been good.
Yeah, after the film finished, I turned to both the friends I was with, Sam and Rowden, and I said, that was a bad film, I didn't enjoy it. And honestly, throughout it, I was yawning. There were a lot of scenes where I was bored, genuinely bored.
Yeah.
Just had no interest in what was going on the screen. But then, I think, the worst thing is, because then, Rowden said, I didn't think it was bad, it's just not good.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that's probably it.
Yeah.
It's not that the film itself is boring when you just look at the film, but because I love superheroes and want DC to do good,
you have
the
high
fact
expectations.
that they aren't doing it, you're actually just, when you see the scenes that might not be awful but aren't great, you're sitting there going, you could do this so much better, which makes it worse.
Yeah. We'll dig into it more in our special.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
To kind of sum up my thoughts on it, I really like the cast they've assembled. I think they've assembled a great cast. I just don't think that that cast had a good story to tell here.
Yeah, that does feel like mainly what it is.
Yeah, I'd give it 3 out of 5, and that is being generous.
I'd give it a 2, and I think I'm being generous.
Fair enough. I also saw... So this is the one that I had to drop last week, so I'm just going to do it now very quickly. I saw it at Suburbicon. Basically, it's a George Clooney film. He's taken a script from the Coen brothers, who are quite known for doing like quite dark comedy. He decided to take the script that they never quite got around to doing. Basically, what's happened is you can tell what parts are the Coen brothers, and then there's another element that's been added on. And there's like, essentially the film has 2 storylines that are running through the whole film, and they never quite gel cohesively.
Right, got you. So it's almost like the Coens had already established one of the stories.
Yeah.
And they've now tried to add in this second.
For anyone that's not aware what it's about, you got Matt Damon, who's playing like the main character, and it's an interesting character for him to play. It's not necessarily the the superhero Jason Bourne kind of I'm going to save the day sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's a home invasion. Something happens and someone dies, and it's kind of about the fallout of that.
Okay.
On a very like family level. While that's happening simultaneously, this is like a weird version. Like, it's set, I think, in modern times. It's supposed to be, but there's this weird like 60s Americana vibe to where they're living.
Okay.
And a African American family have moved in opposite, and that's causing some concern. So you've got these 2 storylines that are running through it that never quite satisfyingly meet at any point.
Got you.
So it's really jarring. Oscar Isaac is in it, and it feels like he's in a completely different film. Like, he's really good, and he's the highlight by far. He just comes in for like a couple of scenes and is amazing, and you're like, I want to be watching the film that he thinks he's in. He's so good. It is interesting seeing Matt Damon play a character that is more shades of grey than you're used to seeing, but otherwise it just doesn't really work. It's okay. It's 2.5 out of 5, but it's just okay. It should have been, I think, worked on more to make things make more sense.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then we saw... So it came out in the UK on Friday, but we went to see an advanced screening of this last Monday, as we do. We saw Battle of the Sexes.
Which one's that?
This is the one with Emma Stone and Steve Carell. It's about...
Oh, the tennis one.
Yeah, it's the tennis one.
Okay.
It's when feminism meets tennis, basically.
Okay.
As a real, base level pitch of what this film is about.
Got you.
I don't want to get the character names wrong, because this is actually based on real events.
Yeah.
So I think it was set in the 70s. Well, the film was, but obviously that's when the events happened. It's going real slow, bear with me. Alright, you've got Billie Jean King, okay, who's a female, played by Emma Stone.
Yep.
And basically she's upset, annoyed, a bit hacked off by the fact that the female tennis players aren't getting paid as much as the male tennis players.
Yep.
In these huge tournaments. You've got an ex-champ called Bobby Riggs, who's played by Steve Carell, and he's kind of coming to, the latter days of his professional career, and he's kind of trying to remain relevant.
Yeah.
And it's all so obviously Billie Jean King has this we want equality, and he's basically championing how he's a chauvinist pig, and he's kind of using that as a selling point, and people are getting on board with that.
Got you. And
it all culminates in this tennis match between the 2 of them. Other stuff's happening that I don't want to go into, so I don't want to spoil things. You should go see it. It's really good. Kat enjoyed it more than I did, and she said, as a woman, it was interesting for her to see this story told.
Yeah.
As a man, I just thought it was a good time. I thought it was a good film. Definitely an important story. The acting is great. Emma Stone is just phenomenal. I think after La La Land, people are kind of wising up to the fact that she really can act.
Yeah.
I'd say 3.5 out of 5. That's my film of the week.
Fair enough. I don't think you've ever done films of the week before, so...
I haven't, but I think I might start. If you were only to go and see one of the films that we talk about this week, Battle of the Sexes.
Okay.
Better than Justice League. That's ridiculous.
Not difficult.
That shouldn't be the case, should it?
Shouldn't be, no, but it is.
There we go.
Is that your films?
Yeah.
I've done a bit of other stuff, Liam. Not films. I watched the entire 2 seasons, 1.5 seasons of The Good Place on Netflix.
I don't know what this is.
So it's about a woman who dies.
Okay, who's she played by?
What's her name?
Because I've heard of it, I just don't know what it's about, and I think I know who's in it, but I can't remember.
Yeah, you would know her. It's Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
So she plays a woman that's died and finds herself in the equivalent of heaven, which is a place called the Good Place.
Yeah.
It's not heaven because it's non-denominational, not a religion.
Yeah.
So she wakes up in the Good Place, gets all this introduction course, and then very quickly you find out that they've confused her with someone else.
Yeah.
And she is not meant to be in the Good Place because she is a bad person.
Right. Okay.
So it's all about her trying to learn to be good enough to stay.
Okay.
Is the idea, whilst also not revealing to a lot of people that she's not meant to be there.
Yeah.
It's a comedy. It's done really well, and I'm worried that if I talk anymore, I will ruin one of the greatest pieces of TV I've ever seen.
Okay.
So go watch it and be amazed, because honestly,
is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I think it's Netflix original, but I'm not positive on that.
Okay.
But yeah, they've gone on a series break till sometime soon.
Yeah.
It's really annoying because it's like you literally get halfway through the second season and you can see that the break fits there, but it's one of those things where I literally powered through it in like 4 days and I was like, oh my god, just give me the rest.
That would be an unusual play for Netflix because they do normally like to release the whole season in one go, don't they?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. It premiered on NBC.
Okay, there we go then, yeah.
I think it's Netflix exclusive on the streaming side, maybe.
Right, okay.
But yeah, honestly, seriously worth watching. I highly recommend it.
So I'm assuming because you're watching that we're now going to get reviews for Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Defenders, right?
No, because those, Liam, don't allow you to download them. And I watch Netflix on the way to work, and I do not have enough data to stream stuff, so I have to download it on Wi-Fi. But for some reason, Netflix do not allow, or I guess Marvel, seeing as Netflix allow pretty much all their shows to be downloaded, someone is stopping me downloading it.
Have you heard that future Marvel shows aren't going to be on Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to be on Disney streaming, isn't it?
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
I'm at a stage, like The Punisher came out a while ago, and I'm not really excited to watch it. I've kind of checked out with the Marvel shows now on Netflix.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think that sort of seems to be the general vibe anyway. Like,
I'm up for the
when
next
you compare
Jessica
the
Jones.
excitement. Yeah, but it's weird because like you compare the excitement for the build up to Defenders.
Yeah.
And then like look at The Punisher. I like noticed it came out because I went on Netflix and was like, oh, The Punisher's here.
Yeah.
So
I think the
weird.
other thing is there really is so much content on Netflix now that I'm like, yeah, I could spend 13 hours watching this season of a Marvel show where I know that it's going to be like probably a 7-episode thing stretched to 13, or I could watch another show that maybe will actually be really good. Like there's so many on there that I like the look of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know.
That's part of the reason I think the whole Disney streaming switch is weird, because I think Disney are hoping that they'll compete, and I don't think they will.
No, I'm not convinced.
I think they might take some of the market, and they probably will survive, but I don't think they're going to become the next Netflix and take over Netflix's domination of the streaming world.
Definitely. I think if Amazon Prime can't really compete, I don't think a new one will be able to, because I think how many people use Amazon, and how many people would get Amazon Prime not even for the streaming stuff, but just for next day postage.
I mean, I rarely do the Amazon streaming, and I have it.
Same. I have it more for the postage than for the streaming.
Yep.
What else have you been watching or reading or whatever?
No, I haven't been reading.
No more American Psycho?
No. I'm away next week, Liam, so hopefully I'll get time then.
Okay. Did you watch anything else?
'Cause
I thought you said you had a couple of things that you did.
No, I don't think so. Have I spoken about Star Trek on here?
I think you have. I know it's doing like a mid-season finale, like mid-season break again, isn't it? Like the Good Wife for Good
Which
Place
is really annoying.
Yeah. I've heard it's good though.
It is. It's worth watching. It's Star Trek, but it's different.
In a good way?
I think so. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. We're watching The Walking Dead at the moment. But you're not, so we can't talk about that.
Nope.
Housekeeping. Wow. Twitter was a buzz after your big announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had so many tweets.
Read them all, Liam.
Here we go then. Lee
Feed
Brady.
my latent narcissism.
Lee Brady tweeted us to say, wow, congrats, and then your Twitter handle, on the bold step to your correct gender. And honestly, this episode has been hilarious so far, as Liam asks all the right questions in the wrong ways. Love it. Great news. And personally, I think that's the best description of the episode I've read.
Yeah. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. Don't think I need to read any more tweets.
Well, Do it anyway.
Cat at More About Cat tweeted saying, super happy for my pal, and then your Twitter handle at exp172. Also, this episode is a hilarious but thoughtful perspective on coming out as trans. Do go listen if you have a good sense of humour. And Kat said to me she felt it very important to add that caveat at the end.
Oh yeah, I imagine if you didn't find us funny, you probably would be a little bit offended by some of it. I don't know why. It's not offensive.
No. It's asking the right questions in the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't even think you asked anything that was particularly, out there.
No. Frankie at BissFrankie tweeted saying, hey, a week late totally works for me since I only just finished Stranger Things 2 yesterday. Look forward to hearing the news on my way to work this morning. And then they never tweeted us again, so they're probably shocked.
Frankie, if you hate me, that's your choice.
Gibbo, friend of the show, tweeted saying, glad you're happy, Ellie, and I hope you get a smooth transition. Also, I read a new book called Paradox Bound that is about people travelling back and forth through American history. Great science fiction stuff, and as an Aussie, I could still follow it. And then they also tweeted saying, I finished American Psycho, and yeah, the beginning is very samey, but it really twists towards the end, and then it is almost unintelligible. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I can't figure out.
I mean, it's made me want to finish it still, because it's someone actually telling me, like, a reason to.
Yeah.
Because that is my biggest concern, was even though it's got the murder in it, will it just stay the same? So I'm hoping that, you've given me a little bit more faith in it, Gibbo. I'll try and get it done. Also, Paradox Bound has been added to my list.
Cool. Sam Pryor tweeted saying, I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've listened to the podcast, but make sure you listen to this one. Proud of you. Your Twitter handle. Why aren't you listening regularly, is my question.
How many times did you listen to the wrestling podcast?
I don't like wrestling.
Maybe he doesn't like you.
Probably. Sophie _Jade tweeted saying, such a good episode, couldn't have been done better. So happy for at exp172. Notice how many people are tagging you in this versus how many tags I'm getting.
Yeah, well, no one's proud of you. You did. What do you think you did?
I was a good, supportive little friend.
Yeah, you don't get medals for that, mate. I mean, I shouldn't get medals for being transgender. It should just be a normal thing, but we're not there yet.
Matt Woodman, who is one of my friends who's been listening to the show for ages but has literally never communicated or contacted us until now, tweeted saying, congrats, Ellie. What a brave thing to do. You're now my favourite.
Cheers, Matt.
So, you're a brave little girl.
Am I detecting jealousy, Liam?
No.
Okay.
No. And that's kind of it for the housekeeping, to be honest. Like from the correspondence side of things. On the other hand, I've been watching more Gilmore Girls. So do you remember in the last episode I was saying we were kind of struggling with season 4 a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, it gets better.
Okay.
The second half of the season is so good. And then just before recording, we was eating our dinner and we finished season 4. We watched the finale. And now I'm just so excited to finish this episode and go and watch the start of season 5.
Fair enough.
So if anyone's like, this episode's kind of cracking on a bit, we're going quite fast.
It's literally just because you want to watch Gilmore Girls.
And because you want a short episode to edit.
Well, we'll see.
So,
You might be editing this one, Liam. I've got a lot of shit to sort for tomorrow.
Well, that's your fault. Anyway, that's it.
Culture swap?
Culture swap. It's our anniversary special.
Fuck you! Whoa. Hold the
Swap
fuck
my
up.
culture.
Thank you.
There we go. It's the anniversary special. I've been very vocal about the fact that it's our anniversary special on Twitter.
Yep.
Literally no one has tweeted us saying like, well done on 2 years, or, thank you for 2 years of fun
Amazingness.
times.
I'm picturing both of us sitting at a small party table with party hats on, blowing little streamers, but no one's there.
I did something, right, that I hate doing. Because I was kind of really excited for the concept that we had of this episode, I tweeted about it, and then I, from my own personal account, to add that human touch to it, I tweeted saying I would especially like input, and then I tagged in everyone who has guested on the show. Not a single person.
Well, yeah, they're busy people.
I honestly don't give a fuck.
Okay, well, I still like you all.
So we've basically, for anyone that's not aware of what's going on here, what we've done is both myself and Ellie have written letters to each other, which we're going to read out. And then we have also written letters to ourselves to read out in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
So Lee did email, to be fair, to say he was up for kind of joining, and he was like, what do you need us to do? And he said, excellent concept, love it. I'll get to work on these probably tomorrow, but happy to write for both, so will. That's 4 days ago. Never heard any more.
He's busy. Stop complaining about when we...
No, like,
about our friends.
Kat, my girlfriend, 4 days ago, emailed, like, what do you want from me? I let her know. Never heard back. We had...
sorry, just very quickly.
Yeah.
You and Kat live together, but she emailed.
Yep.
What sort of relationship are you in, Liam? Are you guys all right?
Oh, it's great. Mark, friend of the show, he emailed 4 days ago. Didn't hear back. So,
Did you email them saying, here's what we want?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah. So they emailed me like, what do you want? I emailed back exactly what we wanted. Didn't hear back. Will, who's on that wrestling podcast that neither of us listen to, but you've guessed it on.
I think they've technically on hiatus.
Okay. He emailed asking how we can be of assistance. Didn't hear back 4 days ago. So, whatever. Don't worry about it. I hope you enjoy this episode that we're doing.
Well, no, if you're writing one, still send it.
I don't care.
Okay, well, I do. I'm interested. But if you're not writing one, don't worry about it.
Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I think you should go first.
Okay. I've actually put a lot of thought and effort into this.
Oh, so have I.
I don't know how you want to do this, but I was thinking maybe I just read the whole letter and then afterwards you can kind of respond.
Critique.
Yeah, critique's probably a better word for you.
Okay.
Okay, right, let me just... I'm going to have to make the font a bit bigger because I'm getting old.
What size font is it currently?
12?
Mine's 11 and I can read it, Liam.
Mine's a 12, right? But also it's like a one word document page.
You've gone for like a Jokerman font. Your font size 12, but it's Jokerman.
It's Cambria. Don't know what Jokerman is.
An Arial.
Alright. To Ellie. Maybe you could get some... Oh, it's too much effort, never mind. I was going to say like some nice like fancy music in the background. Fuck it, don't worry. To Ellie. Well, here we are. 2 years of podcasting. We've laughed, we've argued, and we've learnt a lot in these last 2 years. Some of us have learnt more than others. It is at this point of letter writing where I now start to regret coming up with this half-baked idea. I'm going to make a wild assumption, I wrote this a couple of days ago, that none of the listeners have got involved, which leads me to query, why do we bother? Now, before you start huffing and puffing about me picking on the listeners again,
too late.
Hear me out. As fun as it is being baited into your nonsensical arguments, the entire drive of our show has always been geared towards listener interaction. Hell, the very premise of the show initially hinged on culture swap, with the idea being that the listeners would be suggesting what we do for that segment. When they can't even be bothered to throw some suggestions, with justifications of course, at us, then it was ludicrous of me to think they would bother to write lovely emails of support and gratitude for 2 years of free entertainment. Next year, it is up to you to come up with what we do for our anniversary special. I would like to remind you that I suggested we not bother, and only really celebrate the big milestones from here on out. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and so on. Jesus. Imagine if we're still doing this in 20 years' time. That is a sobering thought. Just think, if you had listened to me, we could have been doing Your Name right now. But no, you had to insist that we do an anniversary special. So here we are. Right, I guess I should stop moaning for a bit and come up with some highlights. The main highlight was obviously making you watch the High School Musical trilogy. I am looking forward to the day we do High School Musical 2 for the podcast. Then of course there was the tale of Carlos the Dwarf. There was the entire Witcher 3 journey. There have been so many of my wonderful film reviews. I have also enjoyed most of our episodes where we have had guests. Oh, and I have really enjoyed seeing you take on the role of editor. You were perfectly adequate at it. 2 years of Nerd on Nerd. Did you ever think we would make it this far? I did not, and I imagine the listeners hoped we wouldn't too. But here we are, Ellie, despite everything. I could say I look forward to sitting down with you every other week to discuss our lives and whatever culture has been swapped that week. To summarise, 2 years of Nerd on Nerd, 2 years of catching up with, 2 years of culture swap. And really, I ask you, what have we learned in these 2 years? Don't answer just yet, you'll get your turn soon. This letter is nearly finished, then I have to somehow figure out how to write a fucking letter for you to read in 5 years' time. This was a fucking awful idea, Ellie, just atrocious. Anyway, thanks for doing this with me, I guess. Keep up the good editing work, love Liam. P.S. The erotic fanfiction idea of last year was better. That's the end of my letter.
Good, I'm glad. My one's better than yours.
Yeah, no, but you know.
Specifically because it's going second, though. So,
did you not have any...
just prepare yourselves to have your hearts broken a little bit when you hear mine, and then think about what Liam just said, because they got different tones, let's say.
Wait, okay. What would you say the tone of mine was?
Oh, yours was negative. Very negative.
What's yours?
Oh, super positive.
Am I going to feel like embarrassed?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you have a human heart, you might do.
This was like, I don't really remember what the whole point of this was.
Yeah, no. There wasn't one. You didn't give me one. You just said write a letter.
Yeah, okay.
Also, isn't the one for 5 years' time meant for us to... As in, I thought the whole idea was that we were writing one to each other now.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is...
And then to ourselves.
In 5 years' time, have you read the letter to me that I wrote.
What? I'm so confused.
So in 5 years' time, right, I've written a letter to myself, okay?
Got you. Right, but I'll read it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple. Sorry, did you have any responses to my lovely letter that I wrote for you?
Oh, I think my letter sort of responds to a lot of it.
Let's just get cracking then.
Okay. Hey, Liam. This whole letter thing is kind of weird, and to be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what or how much to write. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to bring some positivity to the show. That's right. Casting aside my usual cynicism, negativity, and argumentativeness, I have decided to give you, on the anniversary of us birthing this beautiful podcast, the greatest gift I can think of. I will be culture swapping you. You are Liam, a not 30-year-old person who lives with his girlfriend Kat. We first met at the University of Portsmouth, where you spent most of your time watching films or doing uni work. In the way of all the best rom-coms, we met at a party. I'll be honest, I can never remember which party it was exactly, but I do remember that after aforementioned party, me and you became fast friends. This may have had something to do with the fact that we were both desperately trying to figure out how to get with two of the girls in our friendship group. A goal which one of us clearly did right, what with the whole you still being in a relationship with the girl. But after that initial bonding, we ended up quickly becoming real proper friends. Some highlights from my years of knowing you are watching Kat punch you in the throat, discovering that you didn't know how to wipe your own arse, and our various attempts at becoming sporty. But in all seriousness, it's hard to pick these highlights because hanging out with you is always awesome. I don't know how many other people I could stay up till 5 AM with debating about life and all the deepest topics, only to go and play Laser Quest the next day. Like I've always said to you, if this show was hated, with 0 listeners, I'd still want to do it with you, because it means we get to hang out and talk for a few hours every other week. I give you a 5 out of 5, and because of your narcissism, I know you'll agree. Your friend, Ellie.
I like that. That was a really good letter.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Mine had sort of an air of positivity to it, and I feel like we both hit different notes with ours.
No, I kind of had to agree with pretty much everything you said in yours.
Yeah, no, I thought you would.
I also think it would be awesome hanging out with me and chatting with me till 5 AM. I think
that's my favourite bit. The fact that I very specifically say, I'd do this show with you no matter what, and your letter was very much like, why are we doing this thing? So,
yeah.
There you go, listeners. Feel your hearts broken like mine has been.
Yeah. Who's your favourite host?
Is it the one that just had a minor breakdown and was very negative about the whole thing, or was it me?
Yeah. I'll be honest, right?
Yeah.
I was like, so I started off with the best of intentions with my letter. Like the whole first 4 sentences were pretty good, I thought.
Oh yeah, it started strong.
Then I literally just got to a point where I was like, I've run out of stuff to say.
I'll just moan.
Yeah, basically. Then I just started thinking, well, why are we doing this? And that was a rabbit hole that I fell down. I was like, well, do we do it for the listeners? Well, they don't care, so probably not. Do we do it for each other? Well, we argue a lot.
Clearly one of us does.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I imagine for you, this is kind of like, to put it into like almost metaphorical terms, you get to drink from a fountain of knowledge. So for you, it must be wonderful.
No, I just get to hang out with one of my friends.
Yeah. I just
think I covered that in the letter.
Yeah.
Just enjoy hanging out with you because we're mates.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't get that feel from your letter per se.
Did you not?
No, wasn't detecting a lot of that.
I think
a lot of blaming. I felt.
Yeah, I think the difference is.
Also, I did that bit where I did the jokey negative thing where I pointed out all my highlights, and I don't know if you noticed, Liam, but a lot of my highlights were where it was two sort of negative experiences that you had, which I was doing as a bit of a joke, like these are the things that I joke about.
Yeah.
They're my favourite things.
Yeah.
But then I had a very heartwarming moment where I actually sort of opened up and I said, you know what, that's a joke. The real thing is that I actually just enjoy hanging out with you. That's my favourite thing about you is I like you. And
I've realised where our 2 letters have differed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yours was a very nice personal letter about me and our friendship. Over the 9 years.
Yeah, gotta be. Yeah, long time.
Yeah, mine was more specific to these 2 years of making the podcast.
Yeah, got you. So you sort of think we slumped when we hit the podcast.
no. Well, what I'm saying is looking at our friendship kind of through the frame of the podcast, not what we get up to outside of the podcast when we're hanging out.
No, yeah, but
yeah. So that's
I don't know if you
listen
to mine, Liam, but I specifically talk about how I'm doing this podcast as an excuse to hang out with you every other week.
Yeah.
You might have missed that bit.
No. I heard it. It was.
Oh, okay.
It
didn't sound like you'd heard it because you were saying that it sounded like I was not looking at it that way, but I was because I put that in.
Yeah. It was,
and
the whole,
really nice. I did it as a culture swap.
That was a really nice touch. I like that idea.
Thank you.
We should have probably done that as an idea. We should have culture swapped each other. I wrote this, and I was really pleased with it, to be honest. I thought it was. I thought, you know what, those listeners that currently think you know that you're the favourite, I thought I'd win them back with this.
Yeah, did you? How are you feeling now?
Do you know what? I've just accepted the fact that you're the favourite, and it is what it is now. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
Like, what do the listeners really know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Nothing.
I mean, to be fair, I sort of say, you know, the listeners aren't important, but they're the minor part of this to me.
I feel really bad for the letter I wrote for 5 years' time now, to be honest.
Yeah, is it really mean? Because I'm going to make mine really nice, so yours is going to be just horrible. I mean, you're asking yourself stuff, though, right? In 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm reading it, but you're asking yourself stuff.
Yeah.
Is it all like, how did you put up with this? How is it still going after 5 years? I don't think this is actually going to be read out.
Huh?
Okay, cool.
Maybe I need to reword some of it.
No, too late, mate. If it's tied in, it's tied in.
Yeah. This was a terrible idea, though.
Yeah, oh, no. Sorry. Yeah. This was shit. This is one of your worst ideas on the podcast.
Yeah. I quite like the bit where I was like, you know, if we weren't doing this because of you, we could be doing your name.
Yeah, you sort of tried to guilt trip me in your letter.
Yeah. Well, did it work?
Which was an interesting step to take.
Did it work?
No. Because I'm finding it quite hilarious that mine is genuinely heartfelt and yours is sort of mean.
Yeah, no, I actually think it's almost like we've done role reversal. From if you listen to episode 1.
Just 1 second. Do you think you're the nice one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Like, listen to episode 1, and it's you know, me being quite nice, quite jolly, quite upbeat, and you being like, why are you acting like that? And now it's me just being like, 2 years, fucking hell, and you being all jolly and upbeat.
Yeah, weird that.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, happy anniversary, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Same to you, I guess.
Yeah, 2 years. So next year, you've got to come up with what we do for the anniversary special.
Yeah, no, I'll do a good one.
The bar has not been set very high.
Well, no, we had the sex story episode, which is one of the best episodes.
Yeah, that was, and we had actual like people wrote into that one.
Yeah.
Where is Tom for this one? He could be bothered to, you know,
well, he didn't.
Copy and paste.
He could have auto-generated a letter for us. That would have been quite good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen some tweets going around lately where it's like, auto-generate this tweet. So start with like a 3-word thing, and then just hit the middle thing, like on the iPhones at least when you're typing, it comes up with 3 suggestions.
Suggested words. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hit the middle until you kind of reach the character limit.
They always degenerate though very quickly into it gets itself stuck in little loops where it starts saying like, there was a person who did person, and you're like, sorry.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is Tom could have generated a letter like that.
He could have.
Like, it wasn't impossible. Is my point I was making.
I'll let him know that you're upset with him.
Thank you. I'm literally just trying what you just said now. You know how you started off with there was a.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what happens when I do that. It's just nonsense.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
It goes, there was a good thing that I didn't think it would work for you to do it with me, and then I'll be back into bed, and then I'll leave it for a bit, and I'll let you know that you will do that to us if we are not sure that it would have to do so far.
Yeah, so see that bit at the end where it starts to just throw out like continuation words in a sentence?
Yeah.
That's the loop you end up getting stuck with on auto-suggested stuff.
Well, I don't know. It carries on from that.
Does it?
As it is currently being given a fair use, and then it would have to go on a better way of seeing the office than you could do to a fair trial.
Oh, fair enough. That is more interesting.
Okay, maybe that'll be the next time I have to come up with one of these ridiculous anniversary. I don't know why we're not just doing every, like, we do year 5, then every 10 years.
No.
Why?
Because it's a podcast. It's ridiculous to assume we're doing this in 10 years. We don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, we're assuming we're doing this in 5 years, which is ridiculous.
I mean, that's your assumption. This was your idea.
It was terrible.
Yeah, mate. It was a bad idea. You had a bad idea.
I'm aware. But
I don't know why you thought it was good.
But I had an idea, which is more than we can say for some of us.
You wait for next year, mate.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
It's going to be fucking amazing.
I mean, I'll be impressed if we're still doing this next year.
We will be, because I'm just going to keep recording it.
I feel like
I'll just turn up at your house.
The fallout from this episode is going to be felt far and wide as the tides shift in support from Team Liam. Oh, we'll have to change all of the T-shirts we printed that had Team Jack on them.
It was Team Jack off, I think you'll find.
We'll still have to change that.
I know, yeah.
Pain in the ass. Anyway, that's it.
Good times.
Thank you for your letter.
Short one. No worries, mate. Thanks for yours.
You're welcome.
Can't wait to read the next one in 5 years.
Do you want me to send you a copy of it?
Of your current one?
Yep.
Sure.
I'll email it over to you.
I'm just going to share mine with the Nerd on Nerd account.
Yeah, I'll print it out and I'll email it to you and you can print it out and hang it somewhere.
Yeah, probably not going to do that, to be honest.
Alright. Thanks for listening.
How do people get in contact with us?
You can email us nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Tweet us at nerdonnerd. Fuck YouTube. Facebook us Nerd on Nerd Pod. I think it's a one
with
word.
Dashes? All one word. Okay.
I don't know. Leave a review on iTunes. Why don't you? I did check the other day. No new reviews.
Fair enough.
I'm checking now though, just because how amazing would it be if we had
everyone has done it.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Oh, guess what?
None.
The thing is, right? I like you. I hate listeners.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I've got 1,085.
1,085.
Yeah.
You're down 7, 8, 9. Down 4 from last time.
I just realised something.
Go on.
I've got 8 to add to that list.
Ooh, you're going up again, mate.
I went to HMV, didn't I?
So you watched 4 and bought 4? No, or bought 5?
I bought 8, but I watched 4. No.
Got you, yep. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, I need to
add 4 to the last one.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Bye.
Liam.
Yes, Ellie.
We forgot to do the thing where we tell people what we're doing next time.
How did we forget that? Because the next one is my very special birthday episode.
It's Liam's birthday episode, everyone, so he gets to pick what we do.
Yeah, and hopefully, do you remember for your birthday I gave you like a little surprise bonus treat as well?
No.
How did you forget?
What did you do? Oh, you watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot because you didn't actually finish watching Attack on Titan, which is what I thought you were doing.
It's a work in progress. I'm still working on it. It's not my fault. It's not good. So, I'm excited to see what my special birthday treat might be.
It's going to be nothing, mate, after that letter.
Still just seething about it like an hour after we finished recording.
Yeah, I've just been sitting here in the dark.
Just
crying.
Reading it. Listening back to just that little bit of audio just going, but my letter was so heartfelt. Anyway, on the next episode of Nerd on Nerd, you made me do something that you thought I would like, even though it was kind of within the realm of something that I wouldn't like.
Well, no, it was something that I thought you would like in the realm of something that I liked, was the way I did it.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to not make it sound like I was being a dick still.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Hang on. Wait a second. I'm torn between 2 is the issue.
Just pick one, mate.
I'm having a look a second. Just bear with me, because it's one that... do I want to go for what I think you will like more, or what I like? I'm going to go for what I like more. My birthday.
Cool.
On my very special birthday episode, we will be doing a sort of a mumblecore, but like a mumblecore with a budget where it's basically an indie film, but it's like made by a load of mumblecore people.
Right, okay.
It is called Your Sister's Sister.
Sounds good to me.
So, if anyone listening at home wants to play along, I'm not even going to finish that. It's just a hilarious concept.
Fair enough.
Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you, Liam. Bye.
Bye.